Hi, welcome to FARMBREAD. I'm Kate. So the ANKARSRUM mixer is really an incredible tool for bread making. It has a really powerful motor and a really large 7-quart capacity. It can handle just about any job, but the design itself is a little bit different than what most of us are used to. For starters, we're given 2 options for bread making. 1, the dough roller, and 2, the dough hook. Most of us want to jump right in and start using the dough hook because that's kind of what we're used to with KitchenAid and other products. In my experience, it caused a lot of confusion to the point of frustration, and I really don't want that for you. So today I'm going to share my top 3 tips for using the dough roller so that you can get started making delicious breads right at home. And then make sure you stay tuned for next week when I share my top 3 tips for using the dough hook. All right, let's get started. Welcome to FARMBREAD. I'm Kate, and I make simple, delicious artisan breads here on our little backyard farm. Making bread doesn't need to be complicated. Do not overthink it. Trust your instincts, take some risks, and have fun in the process. And always remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Tip number 1 is spacing. So spacing is really important to pay attention to, in particular, the spacing between the edge of the bowl and the dough roller. When you're first mixing your ingredients, you want the roller against the bowl to help blend the ingredients together. As the dough forms, you'll quickly want to start to reposition the arm from the edge. This keeps the dough from building up to the top of the roller. It also keeps the arm from knocking back and forth too much as the dough passes by the roller. So you'll notice as you increase speed, the arm is going to start knocking back and forth if you don't reposition it more towards the center. Sometimes it's 1 inch, sometimes it's 2 inches. It depends on how much dough you actually have in your bowl and how fast you're going. Especially during kneading times, you'll want more space between the edge of the bowl and the roller. And this is something that you're going to have to play around with. Depending on the size of your batch, the larger the batch, the more space you're going to add, and play around with it. Tip number 2, don't be afraid to move the arm around, reposition it, and then reposition it again. This is really an organic process. Think of the time that you take to hand knead and how you feel the dough to make your next move. It's really the same thing with the ANKARSRUM, just a little less elbow grease. It's important to watch and see what small changes you might need to make to help the mixer do its job better. So be an active participant. I know with some mixers you can just set it to knead and walk away, but here you remain part of this process. That's why this is called the ANKARSRUM Assistant. It doesn't do everything just for you. It takes away a lot of the time and the elbow grease and the pain in your hands, but it's really assisting you as a bread maker. It's not doing the job for you, it's just helping you. And finally, tip number 3, actively use the dough knife. The dough knife is your friend. You can gently move the dough knife around to help blend the ingredients together. You can also use it to help guide your dough back to the dough roller. Think of the dough knife as like a partner or a teammate. You want to use it with or in conjunction with the dough roller, or when you're using the dough hook, you're going to use it with the dough hook as well. So it's really important to make sure that you're using your dough knife, moving it around. It's really a cool process actually, because you'll be able to see how the moving it is assisting the roller in doing its job. And that's it. Just follow these 3 tips to help you get started with your dough roller. Think about spacing, moving the arm around, don't be afraid to move it, reposition it, and then lastly, use that dough knife to help guide your dough in conjunction with your dough roller. I hope this has been helpful, and I can't wait to hear about the delicious breads that you're making at home and sharing with your loved ones. And don't forget, next week I have my top 3 tips on using the dough hook. So definitely stick around and keep an eye out for that one. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, and share. I love your feedback, so please comment below if you have any questions, suggestions, or recommendations. If there's anything you want me to create a video tutorial on, I'd be happy to look into it. So definitely share that with me below as well. All right, stick around. Don't miss the 3 tips for using your dough hook coming next. And I will see you in the next video.